This is another edition of Petz's Final Verdict.
Yep, I'm back and talking about Pokemon. Again. It's been a while since the last review, but I decided to put on my big boy pants and get back to doing reviews. So here's mine for Pokémon Legends ZA. Pokemon Legends ZA. I know it's ZA, or ZA. Pokemon Legends ZA is the latest game released. It's a spin-off game in a similar way to Pokemon Legends Arceus. ZA has some similar features to Arceus that aren't in the mainline games. For example, you can catch Pokemon in the wild by simply throwing a Pokeball. So that pesky little monster you want, you can sneak up behind it and throw a Pokeball at it and catch it instead of needing to battle it. Like the last few games, Pokemon are populating the world, so you don't need to go into tall grass and hope for a Pokemon to appear. You can see them all walking around. It's nice to see, but one thing that would have improved the game is if the Pokemon interacted with the world and with each other. Simply eating berries is just one example. Another one could be if bigger Pokemon were to hunt on the smaller ones, though that may be a step too far. But it would be much more interesting than seeing the various creatures just follow a set path, and that's it. Returning to the game from the previous Legends is Alpha Pokemon. These are typically bigger versions of Pokemon with glowing red eyes, which typically have higher levels in the area that they inhabit, in comparison to other Pokemon around it. They're fun little battles, but when you catch them, they seem to be the same as every other Pokemon caught, but bigger. It was always a shame they weren't special in some way. In this game, you return to the Kalos region, but just the Lumiose city. Which I know sounds downright disappointing when such a big area could be available, but surprisingly, Lumiose is a great backdrop. I went in thinking I'd be disappointed with the fact it is set in one locale, but I end up enjoying the area far more than expected. I believe the reason is simply that it feels more like a lived-in place than any previous areas, as there's many NPCs and Pokemon that live in the city. One thing I can say about the city is the visuals aren't the best here. There's so many buildings and structures, but they're all just flat blocks with textures on them. There's no real definition to the buildings. Nothing appears to have any features, so they all, as I said, look like flat buildings. There's no like outcroppings or anything like that. It's very simplistic. Gameplay wise, it's the biggest change in a long time, maybe ever. No longer do you take turns to pick your Pokemon's moves to attack or defend. In this, you fight in real time. Moves are selected with A, B, X and Y, all while you move about the battle area. This means while moving, the Pokemon you have out will follow you and can avoid attacks. It also means that you can be more tactical in when you use your moves. Moves, instead of having PP and taking a turn, have cooldown timers, which again adds to the tactile nature of the real-time battles. This game has stuck to the newer way to learn moves, where you can simply select from a list of known moves and change them outside of battle on the fly. One thing they've added that I find odd is that you now have to choose to evolve your Pokemon instead of it being an automatic thing when they are leveling. You have to instead select the Pokemon, then choose to evolve it from a list. I understand why they did it. It makes it a little easier than having to press B all the time when you level if you don't want to evolve Pokemon, but at the same time I feel it's unnecessary as evolving your Pokemon now takes extra steps. It's a bird. Punch her in the face. It's a Machamp. Punch her in the face. Mega Evolution has returned to the series for the first time in a few generations. What with it being set in Kalos, it makes perfect sense, as this is where Mega Evolutions were first introduced. With this game, there are now new Mega Evolutions, and the bosses throughout the game are in fact Mega Evolved Pokemon that are being affected by some strange phenomena that is causing rogue Mega Evolution, which forces Pokemon to Mega Evolve and cause pain and rage. These rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon are tougher than anything else in the game and have special attacks. And the best way to take them out is to use Mega Evolution yourself, as you do more damage. There's also plus moves which increase the power of your moves while not Mega Evolved, though all attacks are plus moves when Mega Evolved. This is one of the tasks you were dealing with throughout the whole playthrough, all in the name of protecting Lumiose, its citizens, and the Pokemon that are inhabiting the city. Overall, the game is rather good. I'm glad to see the changes made. and being closer to Arceus in terms of gameplay is better than the traditional mainline games. I believe that Arceus was the way forward in terms of how these games should adapt and change, and this game is another bit of proof that this is the case. Overall, if you enjoy Pokemon but fancy something different to the norm, then this is worth picking up. It's different enough to feel somewhat fresh in comparison to the mainline series. I'm happy to give this 7 Pugsies out of 10, as while I certainly do enjoy it, I prefer Arceus overall, but the next Legend game with a fully realised world set in big open spaces like Arceus, and then this style of gameplay could be a real treat. Blee! Blee! It's the noise I make sometimes when I'm pooping. Blee! Don't know why.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. Why not give Pedz a follow if you enjoyed it?